Oh yeah, sorry. Just cruising. Episode
7, right?
7. I was thinking, well, what's today? Monday, Tuesday. Anyway, just cruising. Episode 7. Kevin Kess, Dr. Love. Conversation time. Here's what happened today. Today is literally unscripted. There's no plan. There's no anything. We're like Jake the dog and Finn the human. Adventure time. It's like whatever happens. It's like, yeah.
Freestyle.
Freestyle. Girl. Freestyle. I'll give you a white girl freestyle. My name is Jane and I'm the Hain. When I
Stop it.
When I go to the museum, I'm gonna get me some. And then I can't cook, but I can read a book. Chicky chicky wah, chicky chicky wah.
See, when I said last week there's something seriously wrong with you, I wasn't joking,
I gave you a freestyle.
Exhibit A.
Boom. Yeah, freestyle this.
Alright.
Unedited, unscripted.
It is a beautiful summer day in London. Fucking hell. The skies are gunmetal green and it's
So basically right now
pouring with rain.
It's raining. It's like basically it's a general UK summer. Rain. 17 degrees of rain. It's awesome. Love it. And we're just gonna drive around, just cruise and just have a conversation about human beings, males, females, and everything in between. Whatnot, But I had a question. I had something. Actually, I have a few things on my mind. And the first question I'm going to ask David is, if there was one thing, or two things, or one major thing you would like to, let women know that you think they don't know, what would it be?
The first thing that comes to my mind is that men need their own space, and obviously it depends on the particular man. I've heard of some men that can be quite clingy. Yeah, I know, right? But for me, a key part of... I'm serious, man.
Man cave.
One of the things that I used to find really challenging early on in my relationships was that balance between having my own space and then being there with the girlfriend, right? And there were times I'd be there and I didn't even want to be, but I felt like I should or I had to. And I don't have that now. Over the years, I've definitely made it a clear boundary that I have my own time, I have my own space, and I think women that get that and understand that and don't see it as a negative or don't get freaked out or insecure about it, your man's going to be much more happy with the time he spends with you.
So what you're saying is,
Don't put words into my mouth, Go on.
I know, right?
Go on. I always get nervous when people say what you're saying.
So what you're saying is...
I was just thinking of that.
No, that's what you're saying, fam.
No, that's what you're saying.
So what you were trying to imply, copyright.
Fuck up,
wink,
man.
wink. You're trying to imply is that men...
I hate you, man.
I'm trying to say without laughing. Men just want women there, but not there. Like in the vents or something. Like somewhere in the background.
Like we want to be alone, but we don't want to be by ourselves.
Like elevator music. You're there, but you're not there.
Like you could be somewhere in the dwelling, so you could be in the vents.
You're there, but you're not part of the space. Wow. Wow.
God, this is so funny.
Wow. Okay, that was a good one. So basically, generally, men, not all men, generally, as in many men are extroverted introverts, which is they come out to play, right? Come out, have fun, talk, chat, do all that stuff. But then every once in a while, they need their personal space to re-energize, rejuvenate, and kind of embrace their inner self.
Yeah, sometimes to heal, to process. Yeah.
So they need to be alone. And what happens is, in the male-female relationship dynamic, what tends to happen a lot is when a man needs his personal space and his partner, the woman, does not understand it, there comes a conflict.
Yeah.
There comes a problem, there comes a fight, there comes a misunderstanding and disagreement. And what happens is, it turns into, you don't love me anymore, what's wrong with me, my hair is not good enough, who is Rachel, da 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 da, all that, right?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm saying all of that, but that can definitely happen. Like, it can be misinterpreted, it can be taken can be taken personally. It's because the thing is, like you're saying, it's a need we have. It's really got nothing to do with anyone else.
But it does.
In the sense that it's not a reflection of your partner or anything they're doing. That's what I mean.
But it is, Sway.
Because you feel like it is.
It is. No. Actually, yeah. Yes. No. Yes. Because.
For fuck's sake.
Because here's the thing that the other sex needs more than sex: attention.
I know, which is why I feel like God is a jester, a trickster. Like, why would you? Go on.
I won't say jester. I'll say daytime TV.
I'd say he's got a wicked sense of humor. That's what I would say.
Well, alright, let's go there. I wasn't going there, but let's go there. Imagine you have eternity. No, wait, no, I'm not finished. Yeah? Imagine you have eternity, right? Again, point of view. If it's not your point of view, no vex. Just listen. I don't care how you feel. Yeah. If it's not your... So, you have eternity and you're by yourself the whole time.
Yeah, you got.
Like in the beginning, there was nothing, and then there was light. So you were like, and then you have light now. Now you have light, but there's nothing to watch. There's nothing to do. Nothing to say. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna make people. I'll take the same coin.
This is why I laughed, because as soon as you said it, I was like, yeah, see where you get with this.
I'll take the same coin, and then I will do the yin and yang situation. One person is the yin, the other is the yang. But guess what? I'm not gonna tell them anything. I'll just, okay, you are together. Now here's the trick. You can do anything on this postcode, on my land, right? But you know what? Don't touch this coin. And I'll put the coin right here. Right? Don't touch this coin. And I'll put the coin within reach. Like literally within reach. You ain't gonna make a ladder for it. It's right there. Don't touch this apple. Sorry, coin. Right. Focus. Okay? Don't touch this coin. And I walk away. Have you seen that whole trick where you have this dog, and then they'll put the treats next to the dog and say, you know what? Don't touch this treat, and they walk away. Expecting the dog to chop the treat. Charlie.
You tell me.
Because you know that once the dog eats that treat, it's gonna be millennia of entertainment for you. I said it.
That is like the most hilarious take on.
It's true, because
Christian
but then
kind of
now
version.
dig this right. If the
I've heard
dog did not eat that treat, we're like, okay, cool, I'll try again tomorrow. We're like, here you go. Now, look at this. That's a banana. Don't touch the banana.
I stand by what it said. Wicked sense of humor.
It's entertainment, bro.
It really is.
You can't read a book that has no action. What's action?
We need conflict.
You're not gonna.
Every story.
Uh-huh.
Every story needs conflict.
Here's why. In the entertainment industry, controversy creates cash. Let that sink in. If there's no controversy in the story, there's no story.
And you do need some sort of conflict in a story. Like, if you just have a hero and it's like everything's going well, it's like, well, who gives a shit?
You
There's no
don't notice anything happening good when
struggle, no story.
when things are going straight. Exactly.
You're looking good in this light, bro.
You see, God has blessed you with rain. You're complaining
How is this even possible? I can't even see any light. These grey skies.
because we are destined for this. Destined. that's the beauty of it. The one energy in life that's constant is chaos. No order, it's chaos. It's why human beings are born with a negative bias. If order was our constant, we would be born with a positive bias. That means we will not see negative, we will see positive. But we are supposed to see the negative in things. Either A, to make it better, or B, to bitch about it. It's our nature.
It's so interesting you put it that way, because the beautiful thing about that, because I see all the stuff you're saying all the time, the beautiful thing about that means that you're now essentially in a fight every day. Like, you have to fight. Like, you have to,
you need to fight. You need to fight.
That's a good point. You have to. A lot of people don't. They're just negative. But I'm saying you're then presented almost with the opportunity of either let's just go with this whole negative thing and just let the mind go on autopilot, or we're gonna fight. I'm gonna fight to create a positive mindset, to create a positive reality. Yeah. And that's where you get strong from, right? It's from that conflict. I was talking to a guy yesterday, and it was so funny because he was talking about men and women. I'm gonna ask you your same question back, by the way, in a minute. But he was talking about men and women, and he was saying basically he had a situation where he was with an agency, and he had like a few strikes. They suspended his account, so now he's trying to work out what he's going to do next. And he said, he's really realizing that he's on his own out here, because he said as men we just have to just get stuff done. He's like, there's no one that's going to kind of cry for me or do this or fix that for me. Like, I just have to do it. And I said, yeah, that's just part of your journey, innit? But he was really emotional about it. Like, he was very passionate when he was talking about it. And he was like, he realizes, even like with his woman, like, she doesn't really care about his feelings as such. And he was talking about confiding, and he's like, and I can't really talk to her about stuff because she would just throw it back in my bed. And I said, it's interesting, we made a recording last week you might want to listen to. He was basically confirming like all the stuff we were talking about, and I was saying, yeah, you need to speak to guys who you can have those conversations with, relate to, and who can and he was like, yeah, what you're saying spot on. And
no one told me this before.
It was so interesting because he was literally echoing a lot of the stuff we said last week. So let me ask your question back to you, Kez. What's the one thing you would want women to know about men? What's the first thing? One, I've got a list. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
I have an encyclopedia, mate.
That's an encyclopedia.
Alright. There's a difference between sexual attention and attention.
Oh, wow.
Which is the same thing as saying there's a big difference between attraction and sexual attraction. The reason why a lot of women say men only want us for one thing is because men lead what they see, which means that if a woman says to people, men only want us for one thing, that woman has just told you that she leads with that one thing. If the first time I see you, you're looking raunchy and sexual bits, as a fella, first impressions count. That makes sense. So
I hear you. If she comes more modest, you're going to perceive
that person would see that, would see that first and presume that's what you lead with. So because you led with that, I'm going to run with that. And that is sexual attention. So there's a big difference between that attention and regular attention. Now I get it, because every woman wants to be seen as a person, not an object. Does that make sense? But nonetheless, it's the whole joke thing about if you see me dressed as a police officer, you come to me and go, "Oh, sir,
I was thinking of the same thing
happening." I'm like, whoa! Just because I'm dressed as a police officer does not mean I'm exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It makes perfect sense in that scope. But it's something that nobody wants to hear because it's not what you want to hear. But me, I don't care. It's what you need to hear. Simple. Like, get mad. That's your problem.
So, previously we've spoken about how men want attention, need sex. Women want sex, need attention.
Yes.
Are you saying then that what women need first and foremost is just attention, but then they are using sexual attention to get the other kind of attention?
Well, if that didn't happen, we would not be here today. As much as we want to modernize and say we're not like that, we're not actually, let me tell you, if our parents didn't do like this, we would not be here today.
Like what? Like this?
Yeah, like this. Punch and Judy, like this. Yeah, we will not be here today. No matter how you want to Jesus Christ the whole thing and say, oh, swans flew down and flamingos held the napkin, and then shut up. It's a barter system. It's straight by barter. We are always exchanging something. You don't just, you give a person attention because he wants this from them. The person gives you this because they want that from them. It's always been that way, always be that way. And it's, okay, here's why. Now, you have a lot of time where, you have, what's the word I'm going to use? Nymphomaniac?
Depends what you're trying to say, sir. As someone that's like, has lots of sex, right?
Okay, so
sex addicts.
You have men who are addicted to sex, and you have women who are addicted to sex. Now, if you sit down and give them a psychiatric evaluation, you realize that the women who are addicted to sex would come from some form of trauma, on attention. The men who are addicted to sex will also come from some form of trauma on procrastination. Procrastination is basically like, you have to do something. This thing that needs to be done, you put it to the back of your head. It's like, no, I'll go and watch porn instead.
It's like avoidance.
So
it's like a way of avoiding.
Exactly. So you're procrastinating. You are leaving that which needs to be done, and you're finding an easier method to handle things.
That really resonates with me, That really resonates with me, because ultimately a man should be on their purpose, right? So
yes.
if you're not on your purpose, you're going to be chasing women, or you're going to be gaming, or you're going to be doing some sort of addictive bullshit, right?
Not on your purpose. That's just it. If you are not on your grind, you are not on your grind. But then what happens with the fairer sex is that a lot of women who, not all, but a lot who are sexual addicts, it's due to some form of trauma, way, shape or form, whereas they didn't get any kind of attention from somewhere, or something happened to them in the past, and the attention that they get from somebody will be sexual.
Mm-hmm.
So they now seem, the more sex I give this person or these people, the more attention they get, which now spirals downwards and destroys things and situations. But yeah, it's something else we talk about another day. But on most people, I ask a question. I generally say that men love sex, women like sex. All right, and I say, oh no, women love sex. Okay, cool. And I go, so what are the qualities that would make you give someone something? Right now, here's one thing I've also noticed too, is alcohol is a good motivator
of
sex. So some women, a lot of women, would not have sex with you if they didn't have alcohol in the system.
I'm a bartender. I've seen some things.
Exactly. So it's different.
Literally watch a
it's different
whole
when she's not
change.
drinking.
Yeah.
When she's not drinking, but a guy will have sex with you without alcohol, with or without. So now, let's say
I'm gonna push back in a minute in a sec. Go on. Keep going.
There's Leia. So
there's Leia.
There's Leia. So now I go, okay. So what are without the alcohol or the influence, whatever? What are the qualities that a person would need to have for you to have sex with them? Generally, just generally, not you, just generally, which is like more than 40%, right? And then comes the okay, you need to be nice, caring, funny, strong, provider, qualities, right? And then you be like, and then maybe I'll give him some, right? I mean, she likes sex, right? And I go, okay, you see that wall over there? If that wall had a vagina,
Jesus Christ.
we would find ways to get in there. It's like, okay, so what does this wall need in order to get some?
Oh my goodness.
Am I lying? Exactly.
There's elements I agree with. The thing I guess I'm gonna push back a little bit.
No, Charlie, am I lying?
No,
If that wall
I'm not
had a
disagreeing.
VJJ, wait. If that wall had a
I agree
VJJ,
with that part.
many men will go on YouTube and look up pickup artists and say, how can I get this wall to give me some?
I agree with that part 100%. There's men that are fucking fruit, like, yeah, like
Octopus.
most men just need a crevice, like some sort of something, right? I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is the idea that women don't enjoy sex, I don't think that's true. Like
I said
because,
love. I didn't say.
all right, so let me give you a different example. Because I think a lot comes down to how we're viewed around sex. Because men, if you're a man, for example, that has success with women, other men are gonna admire that and want that, and other women are gonna find you more attractive, right? Whereas as a woman, if you're known as a girl who's promiscuous, it's the opposite. Like it doesn't tend to make you attractive to men. Men tend to judge you, and women will kind of shame you or slut shame you, whatever you want to call it, as well, right? So there's a different perception of that, and I'm not saying there isn't a reason for that or there shouldn't be or whatever. Right? I'm not saying anything other than that is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, women who feel safe in the expression of their sexuality, and women who are in a different environment. Let's say women are on holiday, for example, or you ever see women on like hen nights or just certain environments where it's actually okay for them to express their sexual side, or you ever see footage of women in a strip club, fam? Like there's an animal side of women which, yeah,
No, that's
to see.
dominance. That's not sex. That's different.
Okay, but you understand the point I'm trying to make, though.
No,
It's
Charlie,
yeah.
I got you.
Charlie.
No. Here's
Go
where it is, right? That's dominance. Dominance is very, very.
Okay, but that was one of many things I said. You want to just pick one?
I'm here all day, Charlie. So that's dominance. Dominance is very, very, very enticing.
Hmm.
And two, it's how do I put it? I said like and love, not enjoy. I'll give you an example. Women like sex, generally like sex, not love sex, right? I like ice cream. I don't love ice cream. I enjoy ice cream. I don't love ice cream. I can do without ice cream. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Boom. Every once in a while, I'm okay. So I have vanilla ice cream all the time. When I want some, it's like, okay, I'm craving vanilla ice cream. I'm gonna get vanilla ice cream. I'm gonna call someone. Say, okay, I'm feeling a bit, funny today. Can I come and get some vanilla ice cream? Okay, come and get some. They can't say no. Say you're gonna get vanilla ice cream, and then when you go to Portugal, you go, oh, you know what? I feel like strawberry today. You can do without it. It's not.
I hear what you're saying.
It's not a fuss or anything. It's like
Yeah. In a different way compared to how men would deal with that.
And then this is where the dominance comes in. When one who has always been subjugated gets that room
to flip,
to be dominant, they take it. Have you ever worked with someone who has never been in a position of leadership before, and all of a sudden, exactly? You see what I said? All of a sudden, they're now the boss. Boom! Gunshots everywhere. Yeah.
Worst.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So that thing about strip clubs and having male strippers is now, I'm in charge now. That's what it is. I'm telling you what to do, how to do. You're my brown, my genuine pony swinging out that. Yeah, they're in charge.
I see that element of it. However, there is the sexual aspect of it too, where they're doing some mad stuff. Some of these women, which is the complete stranger. It's like,
yeah,
okay,
because you want. It's again bucket list, right? That one is bucket list. I want to do this. Boom. Mark that down, write that down. It's a male fantasy. Male fantasy is this, right? So, okay, I'm going to talk about sex, okay? Not sex. Sexual habits now.
Sexual.
Sexual. No, African parents, they're talking about sex. Not about sex. Sex! You don't talk about sex in this house. This is the house of Jesus. It's God's house. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, right. Today's comedy day, bro.
Cool. Yeah,
Right.
we need it, man.
Right. Sexual habits, right? Now, this is let me give the world game. Here's game, right? Growing up, younger days, as a fellow who wants to try new sexual positions, right? Why do you like that position? So this happens during sex, but men don't realize it. A guy wants to do doggy and scissors and wheelbarrow and blah blah blah, right? Because he has seen it in some video, right?
I gotta try that out.
There we go. I want to see what that feels like. I want to try it out, but I've seen it in this video, that video, right? So comes to what's your favorite position? Is actually what's your favorite position that you've seen it that looks like you want to try it? It's this, right?
Okay.
Wait for it. Have you asked any woman what her favorite position is? Have you realized that some people during sex they rather be in this position or that position or that position?
Mm-hmm.
And then they will tell you, oh no, because when you hear it hits me different.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why her favorite position is that position, is because there's that guy that was doing it in that position
and she
that
felt
made her come in that position.
Way. Absolutely. Someone else has left their mark.
Same sex, different situation.
Yeah. I clocked that.
Yeah, you did. I did.
But today.
Now you know. Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
I remember Patrice saying something similar at one point, actually. I think he was saying that, all the stuff she tells you she likes is just some stuff that some other dude got her doing at some point in the past.
It is. It generally is. And it's like,
There's probably some exceptions, but I think most of the time
it's fair dues, but it's the same thing I said weeks ago about person A, person B, person C, person D. It's the Frankenstein monster all over again. You want this from that, that from that, this from that, that from that, and then what happens when you meet person G? You're trying to mold person G into every fraction of every other person you've had before, and not even seeing them as they are as a person.
This is why I think, you need to be present. Because I remember, when I first started having sex, and I remember I had this one particular girlfriend, and, I just knew her, knew her body well, so I knew I'd do this, I'd do that, I knew how to make her come multiple times. I had it on lock. And I remember the next girl I saw after that, I was like,
This is gonna work in you too.
I'm gonna just play my greatest hits. This is gonna be dope.
Greatest hits. She's like, nope. This ain't Sting. This is Bob Marley. I'm like, shit.
She was like, this is not doing it, man. And I remember thinking, oh, each person you have to learn from scratch. Oh, okay.
Right.
Some stuff translates, but each person's an individual. And I think, like you're saying, you need to be present, man. You need to be present in that situation, right? You need to be there. You need to be paying attention. It's almost like a conversation where you're listening. You're like, okay, you touched here. Oh, that's the response. Okay. Oh, a breathing change there. You notice, and then you kind of keep in a mental inventory. And
that's the hard way to teach it. For me, I use the funny part to teach it. I go, okay, men, when it comes to cess.
You're afraid your parents are gonna watch this video? Why are you saying cess?
Me afraid. I don't use family languages. I don't care. I'm not gonna do it. Please can watch it. Cess.
I know you're not afraid. I'm just fucking
I don't. So, when it comes to cess, men are like a light switch generally. It's like, where is he? Sunday morning, boom, boom, yeah, done, right? But a woman's is like a Pentium 5000. you're trying to reboot that computer every time. You're like, oh gee. So yesterday I turned it on.
Why would you use that example? You're a savage, bro.
I turned it on yesterday and it
You're
came
not
on.
right.
Good. Like one time, no. Yes, it works. Thank you very much. The next day,
You're fucked up.
I pressed the button.
To God.
I see blank screen. Okay, so I'm gonna press Control, Alternate, Delete. Boom.
Oh man.
And then task manager comes out. Okay, cool. Okay, enter. Nah, it's not working again. Okay, now press that button again. Hold that down. Leak it down. Hold it down for a second there. Reset it. Start again. You go now. Hold this. Hold that. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. Just tired. But it happens. So like you said, you need to be present. But it's my funny way of saying, listen.
That example's
Pay
killing
attention.
me.
Pay attention. It worked yesterday, and it's gonna work today. She knows that trick now. She's now a blue belt in your moves. Like, nah, doesn't work anymore. So you go confuse the pussy. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Boom.
Broken rhythm.
Broken rhythm.
It is. They're just more complex, man. They're just way
No,
more.
it's not complex. It's easy. So if your game is here, here's the trick. If your game is here, smash here. And then next time, bring it here. Next time, bring it here. Next time, bring it. So every time.
I've heard a lot of people say that, but you know what?
There's one new trick.
My thing is like, I've heard so many people say this, man. Like, don't you? What was the video I saw the other day? It was like a funny meme thing, and he was getting up to leave, and she's like, "Where you going?" He was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "No, you're my man now." She's like, you can't be doing what you did to me last night.
You
if
can't
you
make
just
me
leave
bust 5 nuts and just not leave.
You can't make me come like that and just go. You my man now. You my boyfriend. And he's like, what? Should I sit down? And in the comment section, one of the guys was like, "This is why you don't hit them with the secret techniques the first time."
Giving that plant-based dick is how dare you, make him feel good, disrespecting. Don't kill us.
The thing for me is I like to blow a woman's mind, so I don't really come in like here. But yeah, you're right. It makes it harder for you because then you got to stay.
You gotta stay here all the time. It's hard.
Stay more
because
creative,
it's the natural thing. It's about men needing peace, women needing more. Because if you bust,
this is such a big point.
Because it's everything.
Go on.
If you as a man bust a nut, right? That's one. You've had your one and done. You want peace. Done. Even in sex.
I do. Some guys will go again. Like for me,
that's good for them.
Once I'm done, I'm kind of like.
But now take this right. So now you make her bust. What does she want?
Just bust again.
She wants more.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even if you bust 2, she busts 3, she wants more. So give her more. It's not enough. C'est la vie. It's life. It's how it is. Boom. So one of my running jokes is 3, 2, 1. I got this 3, 2, 1, right?
Go on.
So I'm like, yeah, look at this. So don't give me that look. I'm about to give you 3, 2, 1. So what's that? 3 inches, 2 strokes, 1 minute. Yeah. Pa-pow! Wow! Flash! 3 inches.
I think I beat my personal best.
Pa-pow! Yeah! Fast runner. 100 meters, baby. 10 seconds.
I won.
Yeah. Give me that 3, 2, 1 look. Don't look at me now. I'm going to give you 3 inches.
I knew you
2 strokes. 1 minute. Yeah. Now it's getting dressed and undressed too.
You under promising and over delivering. But
no, wait.
Go on.
Wait. Here's why.
I love this conversation.
Here's why. Because again, peace and more, right?
I love this.
So you get more peace. Here's why. Okay, over deliver. So that means when you give 4 inches, oh, you gave more. Wait for it. When you give 3 strokes, oh, you gave more. So when you give 1 minute or 1 second, oh, you gave more.
Oh God.
Shit.
I fucking can't. Oh my God, I'm done. I'm so done. And then there's zero pressure on you for the next time.
You sleep like a king.
So this is
this is that. I got mine.
You really are an arsehole.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh my God.
You're welcome.
You weren't joking.
No, you're
but
welcome.
then Oh man, I'm crying. I'm literally crying. This is your 1% rule.
1% better every day. So the next day, 4.5.
Oh my god.
3 minutes. Oh, sorry. 4 strokes. 3 minutes. Yeah, better. Again, like I said, this is your game. Start from here. Back, David. Progress. Progress.
I have been an enemy of progress.
Yeah, you're spoiling the runs. Imagine. Don't do anything.
Oh man. Oh my god. 2 strokes. 2 pumps.
Papa! Whether it's slow or long, that's your problem.
This
You do your own.
is
You
hilarious.
decide where you're going.
Picturing some women watching this fuming. Because they've really had that. They've actually had.
You know what's annoying? You do all the
man.
makeup, you wax, you shave, you trim, you do that one, you dress right, you show up, your makeup's right, your dress is tight, your perfume is on point, you don't flossed, everything, you're looking forward to everything. Okay, you've now done your cycle, that's your period cycle, ovulation cycle, this is your small window of getting some, everything's on point. You come to my house, I give you 2 minutes. Bah!
2 minutes and snoring.
Yeah, bro. Talking about snoring like I'm Shredder, Darth Vader.
I'm curious to see, like, how does this work for you? Like, do you get repeat business? Or is it like?
Oh, I said repeat business. Direct debit. Monthly deposit.
Or do your customers have buyer's remorse? Like, how does it?
Please, I know I'm not slanging dick. Please leave me alone. I'm tired. Just throw on the floor, please. I'm tired. Just leave it there.
Throw on the floor. The pussy.
Yeah, I'll get it when I can. I'm tired. I got work to do. I work all day. I work all night. I'm tired.
Sake.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. The worst thing you can do to me right now, as a grown man, as a man who's on his grind, the worst thing you can do to me now is to tell me, "Oh, Cass, yes, babes, I want to make love to you all night long. God punish you. God punish you.
God punish.
Back to sender. I'm not at home. You didn't see me at home when you came.
God punish you.
All night long. Torture, bro. Are you mad, fam?
Oh my god.
I need to up at 5 a.m. I have morning run. I have to go and teach. I have clients. I have businesses. Me, all night long. Me! You want to kill me? I give you 3, 2, 1. Bam!
You need your rest.
8 hours, bro. I'm old. My knees hurt. My joints hurt. I'm like the village or elder. I'm like, I told you, bruv. My knee hurt. It's gonna rain. My ankles hurt. It's gonna rain. It rained. It rained. Village elder. See me at my age. Older than Jesus. I'm on one today, bro. I'm on one today. The world is pissing me off.
Oh man.
You know, I'm trying to be a real sunshine, but
Sex thing is interesting, right? Because I remember when I was younger, even before having sex, I'd always hear these stories about, oh yeah, this guy only lasted 1 minute, and like women would kind of laugh about that. And I'd overhear this shit, and I'd be thinking,
but it's horrible.
I ain't trying to be the 1 minute man. It ain't gonna be me.
It's horrible.
And I kind of trained myself to be able to have sex for a long time, like
to please her more.
Yeah.
Not to please you more.
But the honest truth is, I actually enjoy pleasing a woman. Like, I get pleasure off that. Like, maybe most guys don't. I don't know.
No.
But
Yes.
I actually really enjoy that. And maybe it's an ego thing as well. But also, I like to see Like, naturally, I'm a generous person. That's what I'm saying. I like to see a woman
So that's the balance, though.
feel good.
It's weird because on a sexual part, you know.
Sexual.
Yeah, sexual. I've always said to YouTube, this is not for kids, so please.
See.
18 plus. Right, on that form, right? If you think about it, when both parties are enjoying it, it becomes a lot better. But we are so programmed to be more concerned about how she feels.
Yeah.
than how we are.
100%.
So what happens now is we've now been socialized into the situation. Now when she's happy, we're happy. No, what happens when she's happy? We've now taught ourselves that it's good, that we're good enough, because we've been raised with the whole "wake me up, show me what you got. I don't want no."
1 minute, man.
There you go. You see my point. So we are trying not to be that person. This is just men generally, because men who cannot sexually satisfy their female partners don't feel masculine enough or man enough to be that person's partner, and it projects and it shows on the outside, but they don't see it, but it shows. Even though she might be like, "Oh baby, it's okay, it's actually not okay."
Well, like you said last week, can you deliver? That's what it comes down to as a man.
That's it. Because no
What
matter how you
anyone
feel,
really cares about.
no matter how you feel, you are loved for what you do.
What you do.
Not who you are.
What you bring.
What you bring to what you deliver. That's what it is. So, as much as they say, "Oh yeah, baby, it's okay," they say that in the moment just to make you feel good. Then the second you have argument, "See this man, idiot, 1 minute man." Hey. It's like that's like the first thing that, hey. You ain't got nothing.
Bro,
nothing to say.
You literally reminded me of something, right? Fucking hell. I was trying to say, this is how evil a woman can be, right? It's in the morning, I'm getting that old-fashioned feeling, right? Yes, this is a personal story, right? That morning wood. As I woke up, I'm feeling that vibe, she's feeling the vibe. I start doing my thing. She's like, "Oh, well, you haven't got long." I was like, I can accelerate this thing. So I did my thing quick, right? Which I never do really, like, because I usually take my time. You know, the next time I see this
person,
young lady, first thing she says to me is, "How's it going, Mr. Quick?"
It's I, Captain Come Quick, with my dick and my 1 minute. Dun, dun, dun.
I couldn't, when I think of the service I've put in, I was genuinely like, I was speechless. I was just like, oh my God. And she's just looking at me like, because she knows.
The 99 times I was giving you more than 1 minute does not count.
In this moment, what have you done for me lately? And it was your idea.
One time that you wanted 1 minute, I gave you what you wanted.
And now you're going to use it.
Hey.
To like, yeah. I just thought you evil motherfucker.
Bruh. And imagine all those 30 years of smashing didn't count anymore. It's like, hey, Mr. Come Quick.
I think I'm going to take a leaf out of your book, man.
Which one?
2 pumps, man. What was 3, 2, 1? What was the 3
Them
again?
fighting words. 3 inches. 2 strokes. 1 minute. Dude. I'm just going,
Yeah. That's what sound like Mr. T when I bust.
Yeah. Did you come?
I pity the fool to try and wake me up.
Say,
After
if
I
you ain't got yours, I got mine.
Sucker.
Sucker. Oh gosh, David. I bet my chest. My stress. It's the reality of situation. Right? So Wait, hold on.
Right up.
Hold on. But that's a reality. So when that happens, when that tends to happen, a lot of times we as men grow up thinking we're not enough. So instead of us trying to do other things and be on our progress, on our grind, this and that trauma is there. That thing is there about, oh, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, but sexually you are not a man, or you're not man enough. So it doesn't go away.
Go on.
That's it. It just doesn't go away until we start to, go past borders and smash and go high numbers, and it feels good. But the true beauty of sex is that both parties need to be enjoying it, otherwise it's never as good as it's supposed to be.
I agree with that.
It's never as grand as it needs to be. What's the one thing you would like to let men know that you think they don't know? Or 1 or 2 things. What are the things that you think men need to know that they don't know?
2 things that come into my mind right now is, there's so many, right? One I would say is your relationship with yourself, right? Like cultivating that, because, like with you, for example, you love yourself. It's very clear that you're comfortable in yourself, and that's why you can say all of this stuff, because you're not thinking, oh, how am I going to be judged? How's it going to look? Is this going to make me seem this or that? And the funny thing about it is, that actually makes you more attractive, because it's confident, because it shows you a level of indifference, it shows you that you're in tune with yourself. So actually, that self-love, once it gets to a certain point, the way other people relate to you is very different. And also you're going to have better boundaries, you're not going to take certain bullshit. Your relationship with the whole world changes, I think, when your self-love's at a certain point. And one of the things I've noticed with people is, if, let's say your self-love is here, if someone comes along and they say something which is like way up here, your self-image might not be able to process it and take it, because you don't talk to yourself up here, you talk to yourself here, right?
Yes.
Whereas if someone says something which is beneath it, where it's like, oh, I think you're blah blah blah, but your self-love's here, that's going to be just noise to you. So I'm saying it's not going to affect you. So it's like you can't outperform your self-image, and I think your relationship with yourself is really, really key. And no one really teaches us to love ourselves. Like, we're taught to basically give, like you said. We're taught to serve. We're taught to, win this woman's heart. When the hero, when fucking Will Smith kills all the aliens and shit, he'll get the woman at the end, right? At the end.
Where's the prostitute?
I didn't even see the movie, but I know you did some alien shit in Independence Day. But generally speaking,
she was a stripper.
Okay, nice. Generally speaking, the hero gets the girl at the end of the movie. Like, I was watching a movie the other day. I'm not going to give away the end, but that's how it ended. It was like it finishes, he gets the girl, hey, everything's fine. So I think first thing I would say.
Part 2, they're divorced. Ba-dum, bam, ba-dum, bam.
First thing I would say is, like, cultivate your relationship with yourself. Like, develop that self-care, that self-love. Give yourself the time you need, and yeah, work on that. Second thing I would say is, going back to what we said last week, excellence in pursuit of your purpose. Excellence, generally speaking, is I think a good thing, because that competence creates confidence. But I think if it's tied to something which is meaningful and something which you really feel is about your journey and your path, I think that's very, very powerful. It might sound like some self-help shit or some YouTube video shit, but it's real. Like, when you have that sense of purpose and focus, your energy is it's different, man. It's magnetic. It stands out. You feel alive. You feel good. Your life has meaning. It's fulfilling. That's the shit.
Right.
That's why you're not, having sex all night. With that and your dodgy knees or whatever, but because you've got a sense of purpose, which is more fulfilling than just like
Predator, right? You know how the alien, when he sees you like an infrared.
He sees your heat signature.
Yeah. If he sees me, it's gonna see like red marks on my knee, on my neck, on my back, on my ankle.
It's all the years of
Wow,
martial
man.
arts, bro.
I'm not running, bro. I'm not running. I will stand there and fight
You
you.
have to stay and fight.
Wow. Hey. Hey. Wow. If we die here, we die here. Nothing. We stand and die. Wow. Why? Because you're such a warrior. You fight. Now from I can't run for shit. Wow. Woo.
Oh, there's a lesson. There's a lesson there, man, around training. I think.
Bro. Different.
Train like you are gonna age, man. Fucking hell.
Different story, different day. Don't worry. Different episode.
Yeah.
Right. So
Go on.
I got two things to say about men and women and men. So
Men and women and men.
yes, men and women
What?
and then men. First off, it's
Okay.
men.
All right.
Now, remind me about men and women. So here's what is right. I got you. One thing I want to tell every man, doesn't matter what age you are, every man is understand your worth and value. Right? Not now. Self-love is good, but here's what it is. You look at a tree. I'm not gonna talk about the leaves, the fruits, no. I'm talking about the root of the problem, the root of the tree, which is what? Self-worth, self-value. The moment you understand your self-value or self-worth, everything else grows from there.
I'm saying the same thing in different
Exactly,
words.
yeah. The same thing, different words. Left brain, right brain. The moment you understand your self-value and self-worth, everything grows from there. So it's about, like you said, you need to be by yourself from the beginning.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
by yourself, that's when you start to understand your value, your worth, what you bring to your immediate community, your immediate circle.
So things like what you give, your
do,
strengths,
what
and
you give to
weaknesses,
those,
all
you're
that stuff.
teaching people, and
Yeah.
you want to go out there and gain experience. Like whatever you want to do, go out there, find who is doing it, let them mentor you, gain experience. Learn it, learn your skills, learn your limits, learn your habits, learn everything about you that you need to do, because that's the difference between being alone and being lonely. Being lonely is the one when that you don't like yourself. You dislike your personal space. You can't stay by yourself. Someone needs to be next to you. You're lonely because you hate yourself. Being alone means you love yourself by yourself, with yourself. No, this is me time. I need to grow. I need to do this. I need to plan the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years. Tick, boom. You start gaining experience. Because you have self-worth, self-value. You understand what you give. And the moment you start to understand what you give to your community, society, to the world, to the young generation, everything else, that's you here. Anyone or anything that comes that tries to bring you down here, like you said, it doesn't even exist.
Doesn't register.
It does not register at all. So negativity, nonsense, non-productivity is just like, no, it's not for me, it's not here, no.
Yes.
Boom.
I love it.
So
Smashed it.
once you get your self-value and worth, self-love comes automatically.
Here's what I would say. It's real interesting because I see a real synergy between what we're both saying, because I think, how can I put it? I think there's a combination of those two. Because I see people that do a lot of the stuff you're talking about, but they won't acknowledge themselves for it anyway. And I feel like there's an internal thing and an external thing at the same time. So one part of it is how you communicate with yourself, how you talk to yourself. You know, some people put themselves down, they'll criticize themselves, they'll say, oh, I'm terrible at that, yada yada. A lot of times this stuff won't even be true, but it's just a story they have in their head. Sometimes it's an appearance, an internalized voice, or someone else is criticizing them at some point and they've just internalized. So
everyone has told them to be humble.
That kind of, all of that stuff, right?
Don't be humble.
So I've found that having the internal stuff right, so that the way you talk to yourself becomes, maybe it's the way like the perfect parent would speak to you, or the way a great coach or teacher would speak to you, or whatever, but in a way where you're giving yourself the approval and the acknowledgement and encouragement that you need. Because most people are seeking that externally, right? Since they were children, they wanted their parents' approval, then they wanted the teachers' approval, then it was their friends, and it was this group, yada 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 yada. But when you can give it to yourself, like I get something done, and I'll say, you know what, well done for that, da 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 da, and I'll give myself that positive feedback. I'll also say, you could have done this better, you could improve on that. Do you know what I mean? I don't lie to myself. I give myself a balanced feedback. But I think that internal thing, that's what I'm talking about when I say self-love. It's appreciation, it's honest feedback, but it's with compassion, and it's looking at your strengths and your weaknesses. You know, it's looking like, okay, what are you good at? What do you give? What do you bring? And acknowledging that and kind of having that story, as well as the external component, which is actually doing shit, like you said, because otherwise it's just delusion, right? You're just like, oh, I'm wonderful, I'm this, I'm that, and there's nothing that backs it up. It's like there's no works, there's no acts that do it, and I think I feel like you need to have that balance.
Yes, thank you. I mentioned men and women, right?
You did.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. Generally, what are women selling to men? And generally, what are men selling to women?
Are you asking me, or is that a rhetorical question?
I'm asking you. What do you think it is? I have the answer to it, obviously.
Yeah, I figured you did. What are women selling to men, and what are men selling to women?
I help you.
But with women, the first thing I think of is, it depends on the woman, right? But the possibility of sex is the first thing that pops into my head.
No.
We're going.
Innocence. So when it comes to picking a life partner, women are generally for a life partner, not for just a regular weekend thing. For a life partner.
Yeah, you could have made the question more clear, innit?
No,
go on.
there's nothing in that. Again, chaos is order.
You're supposed to get the question wrong, because I can tell you what the right answer is.
Charlie! Full circle!
Do you see what I am dealing with? Where's your camera? Do you see what I'm dealing with?
Full circle.
Okay.
Adventure time. Where we go, no one knows.
Literally, this is unplanned.
It's standard, mate. Standard. It's me and it every day.
It's been dope though.
So now, when looking for a life partner, generally women are selling innocence, as in someone that can provide, protect, selling innocence. When looking for a life partner, generally men are selling experience.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, this ain't my first rodeo. I got you.
Oh man.
And the woman goes, oh, you're my first. I've never felt like this before.
Oh wow. That line always gets
I've
me.
never done this before.
That line.
It gets everyone, because we all want to feel like, oh, this is the first time she's done it. So
no, I mean it gets me in terms of his bullshit, and I know it's bullshit, and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, to you it is.
But go on.
Many guys it's not, especially when they're being touched right. You're like,
Oh, I'm the first guy she's kissed, even though she works on Babe Station, you know. Oh,
I'm the first this, I'm the first that, dude. Like legitimately, even call girls, even
Yeah.
sex workers,
They
even
still gotta try and make the guy feel like
even night riders.
strippers, all of that.
Nice about the words. Even night riders, even day walkers.
Night riders and day walkers.
Mate.
Fuck it
Me
out.
all day. Right, even night riders. and
Notice
day
how
walkers.
many synonyms this man has. That laugh is too evil, but go on. Go on.
Yes.
Mwah, mwah.
So even
Ladies of the night.
wow. Night
Go on.
rider. Night crawlers.
rider.
Right. So even night ladies, right? They sell that a lot. They go, oh no, you're the first guy I've ever met that calls me babe or says this to me. Oh, I love the fact that you have this nickname for me, blah blah. It happens. It happens all the time. Escorts do it. Everyone does it because they personalize the person, their client. The client now feels, oh yeah, even though she does this with 1,000 men every month, I'm number 75, so that's my number. Yeah, that's me. So they feel special.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how the men feel special, is by the ladies selling innocence to the men. And the men, in return, the men generally look for a life partner, are looking for that. They kind of want a woman who has less experience than them, so that they can be the more experienced one. So selling experience, selling innocence. That's what it is. So people go, oh, why do guys like dating younger girls? It's not the younger girls they're looking for. They're looking for a female with actual less experience than them. Because for sexual attraction, back to the beginning again, they don't mind anyone. They can have a girl that, has done all the men around the block, but they want to go have their own ride on the horse because they want to see what it feels like. But then when it comes to settling down with someone for a long time, they're looking for someone who has less experience than they do. Simple as that. So
I like that.
it's the truth. You can date someone who's older than you, but practically a virgin. And then you get someone who's younger than you, but everyone has smashed them. Like, yo, bro. You're like, no. For a smash, yes. But then for a long time, no, I'm gonna catch wrong feelings on this one person. They don't need that. This was like, okay, that dynamic as well counts because of the innocence and the experience.
I think that fits interestingly well with the whole thing around sort of the feminine wanting more. And you know what's interesting about that too? When I was younger, it used to drive me crazy. Like my first serious girlfriend, I remember just feeling exhausted because it was like no matter what I did, she just wanted more. And at that age, yeah, exactly, right? At that age, I actually thought it was my job to make her happy, right?
So you went far and beyond to give her more.
Above and beyond, and was doing this and doing that, and then I had a conversation with this girl once who was a friend of mine at the time, and she said to me, "David, a woman's never satisfied. So what you need to do is just do what you think is enough and stop."
You didn't know she didn't know.
Because we're never happy. And at this time I was like, I was like 19, 20, whatever. I didn't know shit about anything.
What you did.
But she told me that, and it just clicked. And like after that, I just realized, and I stopped. It didn't happen overnight, but I started to slow down with that. But as time's gone on, I've come to realize that is kind of the feminine energy. It's like if you think of the masculine as the one that penetrates, and then the feminine as being the void. It kind of makes sense that the void wants to be
Filled.
right?
Remember this though.
So giving too much is actually a bad thing in a sense.
It's a bad thing. Learn to say no.
Yeah, because they need to want to a certain degree. Do you know what I mean?
It's human nature though. See, at that point, you didn't know what it was, and neither did she.
Yeah, 100%.
So what she was going through, she thought this is what she needs. She didn't know.
And she thought I wasn't doing enough.
There you go. And because you could not set boundaries back then, you were not masculine enough.
Yeah.
Which basically is this. She's going to ask you for 10, 15, 20 things because she wants you to say no to her. That's it.
So true.
She wants to know where her boundaries are with you.
Yeah.
That's it.
And she might not even consciously know that.
She won't know. As I said, she won't know it until you say no, we're not doing that, and then she goes, "Oh no, hey, how dare you, misogynist, a-hole, you're just like blah blah blah, and then the next day she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I said this. You're right, you know."
Yeah, she had some time to reflect.
It's fine. It's just
Realizes you were actually right all along.
but it's too hard to go and say I'm sorry, I messed up, what's my feelings. It goes into the I'm sorry you pissed me off. What? Nah, fam, own that. Accountability, responsibility, take it. Nah, I mean, I'm sitting down here, I'm a lion, minding my lion business. You coming here taking pictures like, oh look, it's a lion. I'm gonna bite you, and when I bite you, that's on you.
I was working with a woman on Saturday, and we were making this drink. It's quite a simple drink. It's like three ingredients, but you need to get the measures right. So she was doing, because it was so many people, she was doing the first part, and then I was doing the second and third part. It works out quicker, right? So we're doing it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, she's not putting enough in there. So she makes the drink. A woman tastes it and actually says, "Oh, can I have some more of this ingredient?" Which she was putting in there, right? And so I added a bit more. And I said to her, I said, "Yeah, you're not putting enough." And then I said, "Let's swap." So we swapped, and I showed her how I was doing it, right? And she says, "No, I think that's too much." And I said, "Taste it." And then she tasted it, and she went, I said, "Now taste the one you made." And she tasted it. She's like, "Yeah, you're right." And at that time, a customer just walked up, a guy, and I said, "I've just got a woman to say I'm right." And he just started laughing. But there are some women that acknowledge
A lot of women
when
do.
they're wrong
A lot of women do.
and will apologise.
A lot of women do that.
A lot of women what? Apologise?
Of course. A lot of women I know apologize when they're wrong.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm quite blessed.
Exactly. It's only when one is not on his square and his frame that all that nonsense goes wrong, and it happens because all you want is someone to have the boundaries, and then you're gonna push the boundaries just to see if the boundaries are strong. Why is that? Because like I said last time, you need to know that if you are off the market for 10 to 24 months, that this person can take care of you. So what do? You unconsciously shit test them.
Survival thing.
Survival things. That's it. I've got one last question to ask you. Last but not the least. Remember, the way the world was 50 years ago, 100 years ago is quite different to the way the world is today, right? So the way men interact with women and vice versa is different, right?
Right.
So I could say 50, 60 years ago, a man would abandon his family because of reasons that I don't even understand. You know, so 50, 60 years ago, why would a man leave his family? Would you know? Do you know why? It could have been life was hard, struggling was hard, he couldn't provide, he couldn't do anything, so he left. Or something happened that the woman was just a headache, or something about him was wrong and she kicked him out, right? Or he was bad for the kids, and that was it. At the same time, it was harder for women to leave their families. Now I've seen that a few times. Maybe like way back in the day, again 50, 40 years ago, it's hard to hear a woman leave a family. Why would you think, what would your reason be for women abandoning their families like 50 years ago or 100 years ago? What would you think that was? Was it poverty, or was it, what do you think it was?
That's such a random question.
It's not.
It is.
I got you.
So random. Why would a woman leave her family 50, 60 years ago?
Yeah. She didn't want the family, she didn't want the kids, or she found somebody else across the world, or this person promised her hopes and dreams and lavish houses, or the cost of living was just off the scale, or just something, right? So it was mostly poverty and the promise of a better life by some scam artist. Mostly.
I've got no idea. But so you're saying the main reason was poverty?
I say that's from my point of view, but it could not be. But I'm saying, like, just generally, women would not leave their kids and say, you know what, fuck them kids, I'm out. It's just not what women do, right?
Most women wouldn't.
Exactly.
But some don't have that maternal instinct, man.
And this is the thing. So why would you? Here's my question. You know, and for those who are watching this as well, who've come this far, why would you think that 50 years ago women would leave their own children and go to another country 50 years ago? Right. Am I making sense?
Yeah, you're asking the audience.
Yes, I'm asking you, and that's so.
I got nothing.
Like I've said already, so it was mostly poverty and the promise of a better life elsewhere.
Okay.
Right? Now, in 2022, I've seen a similar thing,
Hmm.
and it's close to home.
Interesting.
So I have a neighbor. I see him all the time, and his wife divorced him. So the wife divorced him, so he moved to my neighborhood. Lives by himself, but what happens is he gets the kids on the weekends. He gets the kids, got 2 children. He's got a 12-year-old. He's got a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old. So, lovely kids, lovely family. I talk to them all the time. And right, so all of a sudden, last week, I see the kids with him. Cause I leave home like say 5:30, 6 a.m. Do my thing. I see him. I'm leaving late by 6:30 this morning. I see him with the children on a weekday. I'm like, taking them to school, and I go. Again, it's off the norm.
Hmm.
You know, it's weird. It's off the norm. Then, okay, I let that slide. This morning, I'm leaving home early.
Right.
So I see me with the kids every day now. I leave home early, and remember I said to you about how men need their spaces,
Hmm.
and they also need their rant spaces. So this morning, I'm leaving my home. I see him outside. And I said, "Hey, how are you?" And he was going to work. He stopped. He came back to me,
Hmm.
and he said, "Now, obviously, I'm not going to tell his name, anything, because it's too close to home."
It's
or
private.
whatever. Came to me and said she left.
Wow. That's deep.
Yeah, you guys got divorced years ago. No, dude. She just packed all her things,
It just disappeared.
left the country,
The country.
left the kids with me, packed all her things, left the country, so just like that. No rhyme, no reason, nothing whatsoever. And he now has to. He basically,
That's crazy.
he's gonna move house next week
That's crazy.
to move closer to the kids' school.
Any like note or anything, or just nothing? Like nothing.
Nothing.
I never
Just-
heard of no shit like that before. That's crazy.
I have actually, but I've heard about this years ago.
That's
you know,
crazy.
But to see that today, that's why when you met me earlier, I was like just because it's shocked me all day
That's rough, man.
to go. This happened.
What does he say to the kids and stuff? That's so fucked up. Where's mummy? I have no fucking idea, sweetie.
And he's so hurt.
Shit.
And he's hurt because
That's
from
insane.
his perspective and point of view, is like these are your children. You are the mother. How much dislike do you have for your children that you're going to leave them?
It's so true. Like, even if you take him out of the equation, like, how does that?
You understand? Because this is not about, again, when it comes to children, it's not about the mother or the father, it's about the children first. How much dislike do you have for the children that you are going to absolutely move to a different country and leave your children behind? Even though you trust the father of the children, if they are not of adult age, they need the energy of the father and the mother. They don't have to be in the same household, but they need the energy of both parents.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, but for that to happen, it's mind blowing. You know,
Yeah, I'm kinda
it's
stunned by
easy.
that one.
It's easy for someone to go, oh, because she met somebody else, or it's
Yeah,
easy.
that
But
didn't-
there's a big thing there. That's not necessarily always the answer, because it could be a mental state. It could be that her actions, she must have gone, okay, this is the best plan or the best formula, which is, if I am with the children any longer anymore, I might be of a damage to them. So most likely in her own mind, in
She's
her
protecting the
in
kids
her
from
own mind,
herself?
she's protecting the kids from herself.
I mean,
This is a reality, because here's what's interesting, right? Now, when you see like in psychology,
I have to shoot in
I
about
know.
5 minutes.
in psychology, there's this saying about there are no bad people. Here's why I say that. Is that the most evil people in the world, if you talk to them on the same level playing field, they don't see it as them doing evil. They just say, oh, I'm trying to help someone else. So in a sociopathic way, the bad things they're doing, they think they're doing it for the good of whoever.
Sociopaths.
Yes.
You believe that? They think what they're doing's good.
No, not good, but not bad. They think that what they're doing is just what they need to do, but they don't see it as bad, because you...
I think they're just doing what they want to do.
No, not really. You
And
would...
they get pleasure out of
Remember,
causing pain as well.
I teach lots of people.
Yeah, I've done a bit of research on this myself.
And I see, again, in learning you teach, in teaching you learn, I see many people who are just not emotive. As in, no emotions whatsoever. So, me, I'll be like, oh no, if I do that, I'm going to hurt David. They don't have that. It's like, where is it? It's not there. It is non-existent.
They don't have empathy. That's what sociopath is, isn't it?
But
one of the traits.
so it's different things. It's different. So people have different wiring, and that's what's blowing my mind. Is like, I'm trying to put logic in an illogical situation.
How old are the kids?
12 and 7.
Where's she from?
Too much information.
Just because the only reason I ask that is because sometimes
European.
some women they get into these situations because it is an opportunity to get away from a certain situation and to be cared for, and sometimes there are women, because there was one particular person I know who got involved with a woman who was Eastern European, and she saw him as an opportunity, right? At the time, I think he was having issues having kids or whatever, and she said, oh, you're gonna have kids, and like who knows if the kid is even his or whatever, right? But she came through on her promise and gave him a child, and they got married and yada, and then once the kid was of a certain age, she disappeared on him pretty much. Not dramatically as that, but I think some women go into situations with a specific goal, getting something,
And then they come back later, years later, and the child
Crazy,
or the
yeah.
children will be like, no, I want nothing to do with you.
What made you bring this up? Just because it was on your mind today?
Dude, this is a men's channel. Every man's problem is my problem. Well, comments, leave your comments down there. Let me know what you think.
Please do.
Like I always say, it's been emotional.